Hey guys, this is Alex with MyHouseDeals. Today I am talking to Jarrod in Austin, Texas. Jarrod is a premium elite member of MyHouseDeals who just found his first deal on MyHouseDeals that he's actually rehabbing right now to turn into a rental. So we're going to be talking to him about his story, the ins and outs of the deal. We're going to get into numbers, rehab scope, all that good stuff that you want to know about. And one of the things that I love about what Jarrod is doing is he's using his My House Deals membership not only to look for properties in his area, but he's also looking for deals in opportunity areas where he knows there's a demand for rentals for the types of properties that he's buying. So that's a perfect way to use his membership. We also get into motivation and mindset and goal setting, and of course, how to rehab rentals, which is its own thing, very different than if you're rehabbing a flip. So you won't want to miss it. Just keep listening to get the scoop on Jarrod's story. All right. Hey Tribe, I'm here with Jarrod. He's a premium member of My House Deals, and Jarrod is meeting with me today to share his success story. He found a deal on the platform that he was able to buy, and we're going to be talking about this deal today. So Jarrod, thank you for joining me. It's great to see you, great to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about it.
And Jarrod, where are you located?
I am here in Austin. I live in Austin, Texas, kind of in the northwest part of town, and live on an acre. So we just bought this house, actually just moved in on Christmas. So we're having fun making it into a little small farm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How have you been an investor for a while, or are you just getting started with real estate? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So I, around 2007, 2008, actually got into the real estate industry, partly because I got let go from my job back then, got laid off, had a friend whose dad had some money and was a realtor, and we both had a little bit of construction experience. And so he said, "We don't have anything else to do. Let's buy this house and flip it." So that was the beginning. Since then, I've owned a property management company. We've done REO, property preservation. I am not full time in real estate now. I actually work as a product designer, and started doing that shortly, kind of after 2008. I got back into the game and started back into my career. But I got the bug at that time, and I've owned rentals, and I've done my own construction. My family, my wife and I, we buy houses, we renovate them, and then we end up selling them. But starting last year, I decided to get really serious about it. I developed a goal for myself, 50 by 50. So my goal is 50 properties, 50 doors by 50 years old. I'm 41 now, so I've got some aggressive goals ahead of me. My goal this year
it's
is
realistic, though. You can
Oh,
totally
it's absolutely realistic. Yeah, right. I feel like I've built some confidence in the past and some know-how, and so I'm going to capitalize on that and move forward. And I hope I supersede. I hope I surpass that number. So
Absolutely. And is your plan to continue to do it part-time in addition to your regular job to kind of supplement your income, or do you envision just pulling the plug on your job and doing this full time at some point?
right now it's just part time. So I think at some point, after 50, maybe I'll reconsider.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the industry. I love the connections, but for now I'm focused on long-term hold, and I want to build a rental portfolio, passive income, to get to the point where I don't have to have an earned income,
Sure.
and I can continue doing either real estate development or do something else. So, or not development, but real estate investing or development. Maybe that was a Freudian slip. But yeah, I think part-time for now.
That makes perfect sense. And I think that's also why so many people get into real estate is that path that will give them the flexibility of choice for whenever, I think sometimes we assume that everyone's goals is to like quit the job they have and make a total change. But in many cases, people are just looking for more flexibility and they still want to do the
Right.
things they love. They still want to work in the places they love, but they want to be more independent, especially for the future. I love the goal that you're setting for yourself, which brings me to my next question. It sounds like you started experimenting, you did flips, but now you've kind of honed in on the rental market and that's what you're focused on. So I imagine that the deal you found on MyHouseDeals was a house you turned into a rental.
Correct. Yeah, I'm like many folks trying to do BRRRR. I'll be honest with you. This is my first BRRRR property. I've bought turnkey. I've done flips, but this is the first one I'm actually going through and looking to renovate it to rent it. And so, yeah, that's the end goal, and to keep it.
Yeah, very good. So tell us about this particular deal.
Sure.
What were you in the market for when you came across it, and how long had you been looking?
Yeah, I sat down one day and I just decided, I want to build a relationship with wholesalers. I want to get on lists and I want to, start feeding that pipeline of properties. And really my goal was to get on there and start doing some analysis and start looking at properties, thinking about kind of some rules of thumb that I have. And if they, met the criteria, go a little bit deeper. And my criteria right now is I'm looking for properties between 150 and 250 that, all in, I'm around 70 to 80% purchase price and rehab. And, I just decided to take some risk, to be honest,
No
and
risk,
just
no
pull the
reward,
trigger.
right?
I know. Yeah, exactly. What came out of the getting a premium membership and sitting down and going through all these properties, that I actually am now on a few lists and I'm getting properties every day. I have another property that I found through a wholesaler that I found through MyHouseDeals. So, and it's it was pretty much turnkey, and I actually just got a call today and it's going to get rented. They found a renter for it. So, but all that to say is, just trying to take those steps, right? I think when you have a goal, and I wrote it down here, there's this, they call it the expectancy theory. It's where, if you have a clear and compelling goal, you take those actions. And once you take those actions, right, you start building that confidence. And that's essentially what I was just trying to do, was take some action to build the confidence around these. And I found this property and I ended up, it was, I think they were listing it for around 90 or 85. I can't remember exactly, but I found it. I knew the area. I did some research on the area. It's in a growing area. It fit my price point. I did some analysis with some tools that I have and thought this might be a good deal. So I emailed the wholesaler and I said, hey, I'll offer this and cash. And I have some relationships with hard money lenders. And so I was already ready to go, pull the trigger, and they emailed me back and said, or I think we were texting at that point, and they countered and said, they would take this. And I said, and we went back and forth a little bit, and we finally said, yeah, let's do it. And settled at, I think, 72. The house currently estimated ARV is 155. So I thought, hey, there's plenty of margin there. I actually put a deposit down sight unseen and just said, here we go.
Let's just do it. So you never went to see the property because you're in Austin, but this particular property is in San Antonio, is that correct?
Correct. I was going to go see it, and I remember the weather turned. It was the first time we actually got snow in Austin, which is freak, right? Not the second time. And so I was going to go down to San Antonio and look at it that weekend. I had a bunch of properties mapped out that I was going to go look at, and that one was on the list. And then we ended up not going. And meanwhile, I'm texting back and forth with the wholesaler, and I just thought, I'm gonna pull the trigger, even if I use all of that potential ARV. I'm gonna learn a lot in the process. And for me, that was one of the goals was to learn more about this BRRRR process, build relationships with potential contractors, do a deal with a hard money lender, like all of these things that I need to just do. There was enough margin in this property that even if it didn't turn out where I make, 20 or 30% on top of that when I refinance, I was okay with that.
Mm-hmm. So you made an offer sight unseen, you closed on the property. At what point did you actually visit the property and got a better understanding of how much work you would have to put into it to get it ready to rent?
It was before closing. So I visited the property, and it was interesting that the owner was still not living there, but operating a barber shop out of one of the back bedrooms. And so I couldn't get into the entire property, but I did walk the property and created pretty much an estimate of what I think needed to be done to get it rent ready and a scope of work. And in the meantime, was looking for contractors, and I had a couple people go over there and give me estimates based on the scope of work. So and then went in that direction. But it was I think it was a 2-week close, or a week, I don't know, something like 7 to 9 days, and I was able to get to the property before closing.
Okay. And you used a hard money lender to fund the transaction?
I did.
Yeah, awesome. So in the end, what can you tell us a little bit about what kinds of repairs and updates you're gonna make to the property, and what your bid for that is going to be?
Ended up needing foundation work, which I estimated. I was a little under on the estimation. It was a little over. It's pier and beam, because they had to do a little bit more work than what was, and I think that's one of the things that's hardest to really know when it comes to foundation work. I knew it needed foundation because the floor was uneven, and, just the signs of foundation repair. And I think I estimated around 6 to 8, and it came in at around 12.
Mm-hmm.
So not too far off.
Older properties, it's something that you always want to factor in.
Absolutely. And I think again, lesson learned, right? Let's go a little bit higher next time. But other than that, I estimated about 30 to 35 on rent ready, right? Not doing high end flip sort of finishes, but standard, construction grade. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and with a kitchen. And I'm trying to reuse a lot of, so I'm reusing the cabinets in the kitchen. We're just going to refurbish those.
Sure.
I have a great contractor who is an investor himself. And what's great about him is that he came in and said, here's the flat number. Tell me what you want to do, and we'll do the finishes. I'll send them over to you if you want to use them. If you don't want to use them, let me know. But this is, it's pretty standard stuff. And he came in pretty close. I think he came in at 40. But we also added a couple extra things, like there was a patio in the back that needed to be demoed. That was just a concrete slab. We're going to come back in and do crushed granite there. So I got a little extras, but it's all new windows, painting on the exterior, new flooring, new paint on the inside, reusing the kitchen counters, and the cabinets, new countertops, new appliances, and paint throughout. So when we're all finished, it's going to be a pretty nice little rental property.
Nice. And I want to highlight something you said, which is, going into the rehab that you're rehabbing this as a rental, right?
Right.
Which is different from when you're rehabbing a property with the intention to put it back on the market immediately.
Correct.
I think that's something that, especially investors who are new to the game, they don't necessarily consider this, right? And they just see a rehab as a rehab. But the scope of work, even the quality of materials many times that you're going to be using for a rental, is going to be not high-end, top-of-the-line stuff that you would want to put on a property you're trying to flip, because you're going to experience some wear and tear with your tenants. You're going to be replacing some of these things every time you get a new tenant, or every so often. So you want to account for that in your rehab. Was that your thinking behind it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking for things that are durable, right? But knowing that at some point I'm going to have to make repairs. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to replace. I'm going to have to repaint. You know what? I love vinyl plank right now. Vinyl plank. I mean, it's such a great product, and it's affordable. It's durable. You know, and it looks great. And so, you know, things like that. Not a super high end, but you know, it's looking for those sort of finishes. And just through a conversation with the contractor, you know, he's like, absolutely, you know, this is what we end up doing for rental. And he even came to me and had some ideas about where I could save money. In fact, in the we needed another cabinet on the other side of the refrigerator because there wasn't anything there. And we walk into where the barbershop used to be, and there's a cabinet there. He's like, I'm going to reuse that, and we're just going to paint it, and we're going to put it over here and put new, you know, laminate countertops on top, right? And that's the kind of thing, you know, that's going to save you cost, but it's going to make it to, you know, a safe, healthy, durable, you know, home for someone, and that's a win-win.
That's right. I love that. It also sounds like you're working pretty collaborative with your contractor. So you found a good contractor to help you with this process, which is, you know, that's the golden ticket for investors.
Yeah.
When you find one, you just hold on to them for as long as you can. So how did you source your contractors? Someone you knew, or did you research them specifically for this?
Yeah, you know, I'm a part of a couple of forums for real estate investing, and just did some research, found a couple of names, and called two of the people, had them go out and do an estimate. Two of them came back. One of them was, I think, just they put it together it was more organized, and they were really nice to deal with. And that's the one I ended up going with. And lo and behold, one of the other wholesalers that I ended up getting this other property with, he actually recommended the same contractor. So he's pretty busy, but luckily we were able to figure it out where the timing worked out with this property. So, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed because we're still in construction phase, and hopefully we'll be done, you know, end of April. But so far, so good. And so my goal is to continue to feed him work, and he'll, you know, prioritize my properties and hopefully help me on the cost as well. And we can build a relationship in that way. So yeah, once you find them, you definitely hold on to them. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this one's going to be great.
That's fantastic. So it sounds like where you are in the process, the rehab is ongoing. You're working with the contractor. Do you have a timeline that you're shooting for putting the property on the market for rental?
I'd love for a tenant to be in place by May. That's my goal. Of course, you know, construction never goes to plan. So there's a little bit of wiggle room there. I actually have a great management company who will start marketing the property 3 to 4 weeks out from finish. And he said, this is the first time I'm working with him and doing a deal this way. And he said he's 100%. He's never had anyone who hasn't, you know, as soon as that property is ready, that there hasn't been a tenant ready to move in. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah.
Because that's the name of the game. We want to put someone in as quickly as you possibly can.
Exactly. All of this is because I kind of took that risk. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think I'm going to end up having a little bit of equity in this property. Probably, you know, I could have bid it better. But the result of this is I'm meeting the contractor. I met a foundation guy. You know, I'm meeting the management company. I was able to connect with other wholesalers. You know, it's building that network. And that was, for me, that's, you know, I want to focus on San Antonio, also focus on kind of the Tyler area, but I have a pretty good network there. So this, you know, I'm excited because that was what I wanted to happen, was just to put my foot out there, start to build those relationships, start to, you know, get the knowledge and network. And so far it's working out okay.
Fantastic. So to recap, did you say you went to closing at 90 for this particular deal?
I think it was 9 days, and then something happened with the owner, and I think we had to move it out a couple days.
But I mean, what was your final offer?
Oh, it was my final offer. It was 72. That's where we
72.
set.
So you put down 72. You're doing 40 in rehab. Right.
It'll end up being closer to probably 45 or 50. Yeah.
So you're at around 120 total.
Correct.
And the ARV is at 155. So you funded the purchase with hard money. Once the rehab is complete, you're going to refinance with the bank. You're going to get a mortgage on that property. So you're going to be able to cash some of that out. Is that your goal?
Right. That's my goal. My goal is so I put some money, so the hard money put in 90 or 85 and I put in the rest. And so my goal is and they actually put that in a side account. So when they get funded, I get that credit back. And then my goal is to then basically have no money in the deal. So whatever equity I get from the refinance, I'm going to put that into the down payment so I can keep my capital, the mortgage payment, as low as possible, but not having my capital in the deal.
Makes total sense. And what is your goal for cash flow with this property once you rent it?
Yeah. So I'm estimation conservative. I'm hoping to get about $1,200 a month. So I'm thinking, my goal is at least $300 cash flow per property. I think I'll be able to hit that. It may be a little lower than that, but again, I think on this property, because I've used it as a learning tool, any kind of cash flow, I'm gonna count as a positive.
Absolutely. And that's stuff that you can accumulate over time. It serves as a reserve for that particular property, but also it helps you build up your liquidity for future deals. And I imagine with the money with your own capital that you're gonna recover from this once you refinance, your goal is to then apply that to your next deal.
Absolutely.
So tell us, what are you working on? Have you started looking at other properties? What are your next steps here?
Yeah. So I have looked at other properties every day. That pipeline is coming in. Also, people are sending me properties. I have a few areas that I have my eye on. I'd love to get a duplex if possible. So I'm doing more research on the specific areas and hoping that inventory will pick up a little bit. I feel like it has recently. For some reason, I feel like we're going to start to, I know people, if you look at the data, there's a lot of delinquencies. We're getting towards sort of a deadline. And I think we're going to start to see more inventory, especially while prices are high before interest rates go up. So I'm planning to take advantage of that. And I'm also at the same time, my goal this month is to start to build some private money. Some friends and family. So I'm putting together a presentation, trying to get 5, 10, 15, 20 from folks. I've talked to 2 or 3 people just informally, and they're interested. So I want to build a little bit of a fund so that I can not have to wait for the refinance, but I can start to put together deals using just private money or using the private money to augment the hard money. So, but again, my threshold is 150 to 250. Unless it's a duplex or a fourplex, and I can bring in a partner or bring in some of that private money, and just keep doing it, keep rolling. And I'd love to have, as soon as the contractor's done with this property, just have him roll right into the next one. So, I would say probably in end of April, early May, I'm gonna try to secure another one.
That's fantastic, and I love your idea around private money. As a premium elite member of MyHouseDeals, you have access to our private lender directory. So that's a resource there. Once you have a presentation ready, once you know your pitch and you know what kinds of deals you're going after, that should be a great resource for you as well. So congratulations. Yeah. How long since you joined MyHouseDeals as a premium member before you got access to this deal?
Yeah, that's a good question. That is a good question. I feel like it was maybe 2 or 3 months, maybe even shorter than that. And I'm still looking on there. I like to, in fact, I'm going to be in San Antonio this weekend. I'm going to have a list of 2 or 3 properties that I'm going to go look at. And I'm probably going to look at MyHouseDeals to go see them. Because, there's a couple wholesalers that will send you properties, and it's kind of, they bid them up, or it's first come first serve. I like the ones on MyHouseDeals, and especially from the smaller wholesalers that are, I think there's some opportunity there. I was really surprised that they took that I was able to negotiate, and it inspired me to try to negotiate again. And so, yeah, I will continue using it for sure.
That's fantastic. And I love that you're using the resources on the platform beyond your immediate location. So you're in Austin, but you're not afraid to look at properties in San Antonio, in surrounding areas. And really, that's what we have to do, especially with tight markets, because you got to go where the opportunity is.
Right.
And of course, as members of My House Deals, our investors can access properties from all over the country. So that also gives you the ability to reach further and build local networks through the contacts that you make on the platform, like you've done. So congratulations on that. Final question
Thanks.
for you. What is your top advice for investors who are in a similar position to where you are? What are the things that are really making an impact in your investing today?
Set some goals and know your why. Right? Why do you want to achieve that goal? For me, it's to create, a better financial future, but also generational wealth for my family. But the other thing is motivation follows action.
Yeah.
So you have to take action. And I think that's one of the things that I'm trying to learn is I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to screw up. I might even lose everything. But, hopefully that doesn't happen. And I'll try to be cautious in my risk. But at the same time, imagine how much I'm learning in that process. And I could go just do it again. And so I think, for me, I'm just staying active and trying to let that feed my motivation, which is based on why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve? Making it very tangible.
That mindset is so powerful. So thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. I think it all starts from there, right? It's not about just seeing it as a deal. It's about the first step towards that big goal that you set for yourself. And when you build the momentum, it's going to carry you there. So
exactly.
Thank you for that. Again, congratulations on the deal.
Thanks.
You for being a member of My House Deals. And it's been a pleasure talking to you today. I hope to hear for many more success stories from you, many more deals that you have in the pipeline. And hopefully we can be a part of that and continue to be an asset to you in your journey. So thank you, Jarrod.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.